Um,
Well, I mean, the question once again arises: are we going to call it the G Glory Hogger, or are we actually going to say the Glory Hogger?
I guess we'll call it the Glory Hogger. Though I mean, it was funny when we were going, the shacks on Legis in just a more and more exaggerated French accent every time.
Very
But
much
I
so.
guess
I
the
mean,
gents get.
sometimes the players mess with us, sometimes we mess with the players. But we are going to get into our first game here. This is, I guess, you call it the semifinals of this Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
We're already on Rumble number 20. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, they go. They go pretty quickly, don't they?
How time flies. All right, so we are going to be on Canyon Ambush. Thankfully, no Duel at Dawn. I've seen way too much Duel at Dawn in the last couple of days, having played on it twice yesterday. Thank you very much, Urs.
Yes. Oh, some good Watcher shooting yesterday, by the way.
Well, we can talk about that a little bit later as we're getting into
Oh
this game
yes,
between the
loadouts.
Thralls.
Let's do it before they start killing each other. On the wizard, we have a lumberjack front, also mortar front, and we have gatlings on the sides. On the Champs Elysees, we have a flat top. On the left side, we have two Hades. On the far right, we have a flare gun, and on the bottom right, we have the good old reliable Artemis.
Yep, and on the Bricky Argonian Bard, let's see, we've got on one side double Artemis, and on the front, yet another Artemis. And on the other side, we've got that Brawly Gat Mortar going on. And alright, well, I guess we'll call it the Glory Hogger this time around. We've got up top a Merc, we've got Artemis on, it looks like both wide sides are Artemis. And then for sort of a closer range, we've got the Gat mortars on the lower side decks. So fairly standard in the way that builds are nowadays. That triple Artemis on the Junker, more Artemis on the Glory Hogger with that Merc up top. So we are definitely going to have a little bit of longer engagements going on here.
Yeah, I'd expect so. However, I mean, that wizard just has got that extra killing power with the lumberjack. However, the Mad Hatters are as high above the ground as you can possibly be at this point. So it'll take a while before they start hitting anything.
And the real problem was going to be, or the real, I guess, key to the game, I should say, for the Thralls, and I guess partially the Hatters as well, is how well can they keep that lumberjack up? If the Hatters to destroy it time after time, it's going to be a very long and tough game for the Thralls to pull out. If the Thralls manage to keep that up and hit within on a regular basis, they're going to have a fairly decent time against these two ships, which have such huge balloons. Both the Junker and the Mobula have very extremely large balloons going on here. And so that's going to be a very key thing in this match. Now,
I think
is the wizard
going
going
to
pipe
try and thread the
strats?
needle. He's going to do
Oh,
it.
wizard is going pipe strats.
Oh, there we go.
I love it.
Saying,
I'm seeing more and more people do this, and Zilla and I have dubbed it the pipe strats as we had one team in one of my Tuesday nights that I used to do this over and over again.
The engine just clipped through the scenery there.
Yeah,
Oh dear.
yeah, there you go.
Oh dear, oh dear.
So when you try to take a spire through here, you will get that little bit of a bump, but you got to keep on actually just moving forth. And in the meantime, the problems with the Champs Elysees has actually come out and is starting to fire at the Glory Hogger, but the Wizard is no shape to support right now.
Armor's down, balloons down. The wizard has successfully snuck up upon it. It was a bit of a bumpy ride, but they managed it. Glory Hogger's got to be
Glory
careful.
Hogger.
Stop bouncing off that pipe in a moment.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of a shot on that, but still has a long way to fall before he's in very much trouble. And Champs Elysees is thankfully moving back and cutting a little bit more of those arcs off.
This leaves the Bricky Argonian Bard exposed.
Wizard hitting with a
Wizards,
fair amount of
yeah.
his lumberjacks, doing a fairly good job there. A couple of rising over it, but there goes the Bricky's balloon. And this is going to be a little bit of a tricky situation here for the Mad Hatters, but the Wizard is way in here. Oh my
Yep.
god. Wizard came way into
The Wizard's going
the
for
fight
a
here.
Gat Mortar. Oh,
And that's gonna
no.
be horrible as it's
No,
getting
no.
just ripped to shreds by the Bricky Argonian Bard's broadside, but they cannot finish it off. Champalize hurting quite a lot as well.
If that, I'm sorry, Graphics Dirty, but that's just. I mean, I know you like to do unconventional spires, but a Gat Mortar spire with a lumberjack.
Yeah, and both of
Really?
these ships are gonna go down extremely quick here, as the Bricky Argonian Bard will most likely finish off Wizard. There you go. And so we went from a very even match there. You know, we kind of was 1v1 thing going on two different fronts. And then the Wizard just charged in, and I'm still not exactly sure why that decision was made.
Okay. Here's what I think. I think the plan: use the lumberjack to take one ship down, which was the Glory Hogger, and then use the Gatling and the mortar to get a kind of awkward bifector on the remaining ship, while the Champs-Élysées helps out. The problem is that the Spire's probably the worst possible ship to charge with, and
Quite so.
And I feel, yeah.
Well, it just really seems like if you have as good of a position as you had on that spire, you were in cover. You had an open field of view to shoot at whichever ship you wanted. Both the Glory Hogger and the Bricky Argonian Bard were both just sitting out in the middle of nowhere. There was, you know, maybe eventually once you get into the ground, you can charge them, but that was still a long way to go before that would happen.
I feel like the Glowwater Thralls are trying to challenge themselves almost by these experimental new builds, and maybe they've given themselves too much of a challenge.
Yep. Regardless, very good, very solid there by the Hatters holding that charge off. You know, sometimes just the unexpected charge can really catch you off guard. You might not get your ship turned the right way. You know, a lot of weird things can happen when you get suddenly charged like that. But they held on tight, lost no permanent damage whatsoever, and got both kills pretty much at the same time.
The Wizard and the Champs-Élysées coming around the east side passage. Glory Hogger, Bricky Argonian Bard just not moving 1 inch. I mean, they've got their Overwatch here.
Yep, it looks like they're looking more towards the sort of oh, my compass isn't turning. That's interesting. More towards the usual canyon approach, or that all the way on the right side where you see a lot of red ships coming up, and they're not watching this other side at all. Although, can they actually see this movement going on? They should. Oh, I think the Glorious Anger actually cannot see them, but maybe the Argonian Bard, yep, okay, so they do get spots on, so they do know where the engagements are coming from. Unfortunately, the sneakiness there by the Thralls doesn't end up working as well. Now,
oh dear, the jig's up already.
Yep. Now, I will say that the Thralls can continue on further here. There's a lot of cloud cover. They can go actually all the way to the back of Blue Spawn if they really wanted. So it's not that they're completely, their element of surprise is completely dead, but they definitely cannot do it from where they are right now, which looks like the Champs-Élysées is going to try.
I think it'll be a tall order for the Glowwater Thralls to win here. They've picked a funny build.
Well,
On the
Glowwater
shut
Thralls
my
did
mouth.
manage to get that armor down, with Champalizi's taking so much damage in return, so much perma going down. Wizard is sneaking up, trying to catch that Glory Hogger. Can they do it?
They did a bit
Looks
of
like they got a
damage on
couple
the
of
Glory
shots.
Hogger, but it
Yep.
doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
Ember Argonian Bard has caught scent of the Wizard, knows where they are. And wow, they're getting some real nice shots through through clouds. That is excellent connections there.
Oh, the Wizard being taken down here.
Yeah, there's no spot. Is that lit up with a flare? I can't quite tell. I
No,
don't
it's
think
not.
there's a flare. That's just very, very
weird
fantastic.
lighting.
Yeah, it's just extremely fantastic blind shooting there by the Bard. Dump shots coming back in return. That Hades connecting a fair amount.
The
The
Gatling
Champalizi's.
tearing into the Champs-Élysées. It could only be a matter of time. I feel it is only a matter of time.
Yeah, Champ is holding on fairly well though. Glory Hogger going to retreat a bit here. Lumberjack shots coming on in, and ooh, that Gat is getting on to the Glory Hogger, but just out of mortar range.
The Wizard fires those mortars, but they're exploding short of their target.
This will, however, let them continue firing that Lumberjack and continue knocking down that gigantic balloon that the Glory Hogger has. And Glory Hogger's got to watch out here. It was up fairly high, but now it's getting closer and closer to the ground, and as we all know, terrain is quite often the MVP in these matches.
However, you can see on the Wizard and the Champs-Élysées team so many guns taken out by those arts. I just don't think they can do it.
Yeah, and that Lumberjack now getting taken down. This is what I was talking about earlier, is that how much can they keep that Lumberjack up? And basically as soon as you see it up, it's already back down, and now the Wizard is getting absolutely hammered by all these Artemis.
Loads of those Hades shots missing, just when they really needed to hit.
Has taken out a fair amount of the Argonian Bard's guns as well, actually. All they've got is they just got their second Artemis back up, but not bad connections there, and those Hades are actually doing a fairly substantial amount of damage here.
Well, quote unquote substantial.
I mean, it might be just a little bit too late, but they did get a decent amount of components down. They also got in a little bit of damage, but I mean, you can see already how much Champalizi's has taken.
Well, the only permanent damage is, of course, the perma hull, and
right.
they are not coming out trumps in that department.
Very much so, and it's just continually doing. My God, this is just excellent blind firing here by the Mad Hatters. I don't even understand how they can hit this well through so many clouds with no spots.
I guess they just predict where they're going to go, and then use the hit markers to guide them.
Yep, and they're doing a fantastic job of it. I mean, it gets really easy to lose sight of that. And finally, it looks like the Glowwater Thralls have managed to back out here, but both of them are extremely low health. And I mean, if you take a look at the Hatter's ships, they're just chugging along nicely. So we will see if the Mad Hatters decide to give a run at the Thralls here, or if the Thralls will manage to reposition themselves.
I'm thinking the Hatters can afford to be aggressive here. That is, and it looks like together.
Yeah, Champalizi's is actually sticking back here by itself, getting some nice shots off at the Bard, and actually the Bard is not been returning any fire whatsoever. But now that the Glory Hogger has gotten a mark on him as well, and oh my God, the Bard is actually taking so much damage, and are they going to be able to get it down? No, there goes the armor back up. Barely, they just needed one or two more shots to actually connect, and this has been fantastic here by the Champalizi's as the Bard does go down. And that is a drastic turn of events here. I thought for sure the Hatters had this locked up. But Champs-Élysées now knocking into the side of this mountain. Got to be extremely careful here, Champs.
It's going to be a while before the Glory Hogger... Oh, wait, no it isn't. Yes, they're in the spawn, so... Oh! It's going to be a very short time before they get reinforcements.
The Bard spawns right into the path of the Wizard, and we'll see if they can take the Wizard out. But already so much Gatfire coming onto the Bard, and Mortar's connecting.
Oh my goodness!
Holy moly, look at this turnaround here. Oh, that was...
Gat and the Mortar! My
yeah, that just
God!
caught the Bard. Yeah, because when you spawn, you know, you still have that, I don't know, give or take 10-15 seconds where everybody's still running to their stations, but finally the Wizard does get taken down here. However, the Thralls got 2 kills out of that. 2. I thought they would get none.
What the hell happened there, says Fox. Who knows?
Yeah, that was yeah, that was called spawning right in front of the Wizard.
Gap Mortar.
And that Gap Mortar just...
I mean, I know Graphic Sturdy uses the Gap Mortar in his Mobula, but on Aspire, I think... Yeah, I mean, Graphic Sturdy used to tell me, like, oh, hey, yeah, the Gap Mortar works on Aspire. Well, I guess you proved your point, Graphic Sturdy.
Yeah,
no, it does.
Definitely when that opposing team just, you know, spawns right in front of you, and as I said, everybody's still running to their stations, or, you know, maybe even loading, you do have that time, and that 10 to 15 second window is more than enough for Gap Mortar to absolutely destroy a ship.
However, the Glowwaters are on the back foot here. There's nowhere left really for the Champs-Élysées to run. They are pinned down by the Manhatters.
Yep, and there they go. Glory Hogger finally catches up to them, and as you said, they were pinned against the mountain here. Nowhere to go, and hopefully the Wizard will not continue to charge forth. But still, regardless of the fact that the Thralls did end up both dying there, they got 2 kills, and I for sure thought this was going to be a 4-0 suddenly, and well, there you have it. It's a 4-2, and it's a hell of a lot closer. Makes you feel a hell of a lot better when you're looking at your scoreboard. Like, okay, you know, we're still in a little bit of trouble here, but we got 2 kills. We can still get them.
I suck at Call of Duty, says Zuper Ezrai. Okay.
Not having played that game ever, I wouldn't quite know. I watched my sorry, not teammates, but roommates played a few times, so that was about it. Now, while we have a little bit of a downtime here as these ships are positioning themselves, basically in the same position that we saw last time, I do want to mention that yesterday, because you brought up Huachang, and I really feel like I did an excellent job of hitting this immediate space around every ship, but not quite the ship itself. So that's all I wanted to say about that.
Some good long range matches.
The amount of times I shot between the balloon and deck of a galleon was just hilarious to me. Anyway, the Wizard taking quite a little bit of a bounce. Did he bounce off his own teammate into the ground, or did his bottom just catch the rock there?
I'm not quite sure myself.
It is continue to take a little bit of bounces going on. Okay. No real permanent damage done. A few guns taken out, which they'll be able to rebuild. Probably not even bother with it, honestly, for a while. And okay, there they go, getting that back up. But it was the minor guns. You know, it's not the lumberjack, which is what you really need to be able to grab onto here. Wizard still getting fire down on him, as the Glory Hogger and the Bard have just the perfect setup to defend this approach here. Argonian Bard, however, now taking some more of that Hades fire from the Champs-Élysées. Although the Champs is sitting here by itself, and that's not going to do very well for it. We can try that one before. It didn't work out very well that time, and it's going to be pretty much the same this time around. Wizard has come around on the side and is trying to fire over at the Bard, hitting a decent amount there. It looks like most of those lumberjack shots are actually connecting.
Yep. Bricky
of
Argonian
course, as I
Bard's
say that,
balloon.
the next one's
Bricky
missed.
Argonian Bard's balloon's getting taken down, but again, just the lack of like Mercs or Artemises or anything on the Wizard, I feel, other than that one extremely fortuitous moment when the the Bricky
When they got
Argonian
spawned
Bard
right in front
spawned
of.
right in front of him. Other than that one moment, I feel those gaps and the mortar have not paid dividends for that Spire.
But that lumberjack here right now is doing wonders as Bricky is just getting more and more, slammed more and more into the ground. And both the Champalize and the Wizard has perfect arc, and the Glory Hog is just kind of sitting around, wasn't really doing anything at all. Now finally firing off at the Wizard. But the Bricky Argonian Bard has its armor down now. Balloon still very much at risk, as it will probably pop here unless they get that fire out, which they are not able to. Balloon out once more, and they will gently glide down to the ground here, so probably not going to take too much damage off that.
Wizard needs to get in a bit closer, I feel.
Perhaps. I really am just curious as to what Glory Hogger is doing here. He's really letting...
I'm curious as to what both of the Mad Hatters... The Mad Hatters are getting isolated, split up here.
Yeah, and the Bard has actually come around this rock, and now it's in direct
they
view
know
of this.
Wizard has that double gas. I mean,
yeah,
they got to be careful here.
Very much so, and looks like it's actually going to be a one-on-one situation here, as the Bard and the Wizard are going to go at it. And the Bard is definitely taking a worse of this.
The Bricky Argonian Bard has moved itself into a situation where it knows his opponent has the advantage.
Yeah, and in the meantime, the Champalize is actually doing a fair amount of damage over there to the Glory Hogger as well. Both of these blue ships getting absolutely routed right now. The Bard does go down, and now the Glory Hogger...
The Mad Hatters are grasping defeat from the jaws of victory, I feel, at this point.
Very much so. I mean, this could end up in a tie very, very quickly here, as the Glory Hogger now getting peppered by the Champalize, and yep, there you go. There goes those light flak shots, which I am, by the way, very, very glad to see have come back. And it's suddenly a 4-4 tie, with the Thralls having taken almost no damage whatsoever. Champalize will have to be a little bit careful here, as those Artemis are connecting, but I think they should be able to back up. Let's see what... Well, both blue ships do manage to spawn. And so you're not going to just catch someone out in the middle of nowhere this time around like we did last time. Champalize has moved back far enough to where that Artemis won't be connecting anymore, but Wizard's got to be a little bit careful here by himself, as that triple Artemis trifecta is now absolutely wrecking the Spire's day. Glory Hogger shooting off at it as well. Wizard, oh my god, that was a quick kill on the Wizard. Moved forward just a little bit too much, and with the Glory Hogger respawning, that pretty much ended it there. And I mean, that was an almost fantastic comeback by the Thralls there. Just a little bit too much squishiness coming from the Spire.
Yeah, well, I'm amazed that the Glowwaters did as well as they did with those very unorthodox builds on the count of the Spire. Perhaps the Glowwaters will be a bit more conservative this time around. We shall see. Yeah, it's a lot more scope for vertical movement, a lot more scope for terrain usage, I feel.
And we'll get the loadout of that Mobula in just a moment here, so let's
have a look.
Let's do it right away.
First off, we've got the Arcane Bolt. Oh god, there's
Grey Knight goes falling off.
Woo. Okay, anyway, top deck we've got Mobula. Bottom deck we've got double Gat, and we've got Artemis Wings. Nice and simple. On the Thank You Caroline, we have Glowwater front and a Flamer mortar side.
And on the blue team, we've still got the same setup, so that you got that double Artemis front with the Gat Carronade on the Brawly side, and on the Glory Hogger, once again, we've got the Artemis wings with Gat Mortar on the lower decks, and a Hades up top. Was that a Hades up top before, or was that I believe that was a Merc up top before, wasn't it?
It was indeed.
So there's a slight
take a
change
look.
there on the Glory Hogger, as it now is using the Hades instead
Yes,
of the Merc.
interesting choice. So that Hades, I mean, not quite as much sort of straight shooting armor penetration, but it does have the, it allows you to arc it up and down a bit more, and that's going to be important on this map, I feel.
Well, I think also part of that change came from the fact that there's no longer a heavy gun or large gun on Thrall's side, so you don't need that Merc to be knocking that out all the time. In fact, there's really no specific component that you're going to want to be knocking out anymore at all. It's probably the change. And the Artemis is just going to spread, fire, and still does a decent job at stripping hull as well. So I can definitely see a reason for that change. But looks like that will be the only difference from Mad Hatter's side. Now, did you see the Arcane Bolt doing little dipping ducks there?
Yep, here we go. This is Graphics 30's patented move. Here we go. He's going to kind of fiddle around behind the archway as the Thank You Caroline is underneath the flow. You've seen this before.
Yep, looks like they're gonna try to do the shark approach, I guess you can say, as one ship goes way low, while the other keeps the Mad Hatter's attention. And with that Mobula, you have that great vertical movement.
You're doing the Graphics Dirty shuffle here.
Yep, and
making the Mad Hatters think, oh, what's going on there with the Mobula? While the Thank You Caroline is coming from below.
Yeah,
and I mean, descending into the clouds.
And if you look at that wasn't hydrogen. That was just the Mobula going straight up.
Has dropped the spots.
Oh, but Arcane Bolt not getting hit quite hard.
His timing is quite perfect.
Thank You Caroline now rising up.
Thank You Caroline using Moonshine and Hydro.
And here we go. We got a close encounter.
The distance. Now we'll see.
And who are they going to go for? Who are they going to go for? Looks like they will probably go for the Glory Hogger, as it's the only one spotted. Might be the best choice as well, as it is a Mobula, but now you got that double Gatling coming from the brick.
Arcane Bolt firing in on the Salty Argonian brick. The armor went down. Where's the mortar?
Thank You Caroline, hurting so badly. Are they going to be able to get that armor back up? Yes, they do. Balloon is still down. Do they care? We will see in a moment. And they missed the Glory Hogger with all those ships and going to go ramming into that side of the mountain. In the meantime, Arcane Bolt and Salty Argonian brick Salty
Argonian brick, but no.
But all they've got is just double.
Mortar's disabled.
There you go.
Oh, there
they
we
do
go.
manage to get him down. Finally
now
got
the
that mortar back up.
Caught from behind by the Thank You Caroline. It looks like the Graphics Dirty Shuffle has worked here.
Yep. Very good approach there. Arcane Bolt backing up into the Glory Hogger. Not going to let him go anywhere. Is going to take a fair amount of damage because of it, but does stop the momentum. The Glory Hogger blocks him out. Goes down to the Thank You Caroline, and that was almost picture perfect there by the Glowwater Thralls. That was extremely well executed. Looked a little bit shaky at first with the Thank You Caroline taking so much damage and the brick being alone with a Mobula, but in the end they do manage to take him out. And we'll see if the brick now gets 2-on-1 here. Glory Hogger has respawned fairly close. These Thrall ships just have to keep the pressure on here. As the
look at all that Gatling going on the Salty Argonian
brick and Caroline massacring, or Bolt and Caroline massacring the brick there, taking him down. There's a very quick 3-0 lead here for the Thrall team. But Caroline, the Glory Hogger, can they take down the Caroline? So little health left.
No.
Armor does go
Oh, there we
down, and
go.
final shot as well.
Oh,
Oh, now the
now
arcane
Arcane
bolt
Bolt's not where it wants to be.
staring right in
2-on-1
the
situation. Arcane
staring
Bolt's just
right
going to
into
go
the
for it, see if it can get a quick kill here. But its chances slipping away.
very much so, as that dual fire between these two blue ships coming down and will get taken out. So a little bit of a you know, Mad Hatters can breathe a little bit easier there. That was a very bad situation there. If the Thralls could have just kept hopping from spawn to spawn, Mad Hatters were going to be in very much trouble. But Glory Hogger taking down Caroline from afar was uh, extremely key in that final engagement. But Thralls did manage to get a 3-0 lead. They still hold a kill lead, of course, 3-2, and we'll see which way they decide to go now. I'd be very interested in actually seeing them go all the way back behind the mountain on the left side.
They could try that. It doesn't look like that's what they're going to do. It looks like they're going to go underneath this. What would you call it? Ice arch, I guess. Rather around it. It looks to me like the Mad Hatters are going on the offense now.
Well, as Fiasco Total did say, you move now. And it looks like the Mad Hatters are in the gentlemanliest of ways, are going to move on fourth. Now the question is, will they move more fourth than they have, or are they just going to sit on the side right here?
Yeah, that's the question.
And it looks like they will just sit on the side right here. And we saw this in the match before between the Mad Hatters and the Gents team, where there were a lot of engagements going on in exactly this particular part of the map. Looks like Caroline and Arcane Bolt are going. These two teams are actually probably almost as far as you can get from each other currently. Red team way in the back of their own end, and blue team pretty much in the same general region. I don't think I've ever seen any ships go behind this building here, ever.
I've seen the Glowwater Thralls do it before, but
I've seen ships go into this tower, into the little like broken part over here on this tower, but yeah, this is about as deep
hang
in
on a
red
minute. I'm
territory as you
going
can
into
get.
this broken tower. There's a picture of Tom Cruise in here.
What?
Tom Cruise wearing goggles. It looks like Tom Cruise wearing goggles. If you go inside the tower,
Oh my god!
right? See that? Do you see it?
Yeah. I don't think that's Tom Cruise, but
Who is it? Who the heck
yeah.
is that?
So Urs, if you're on the very bottom, there's a window on the side. If you go in through that window, there's like these few decks, and on the bottom left-hand corner of it, there's a picture. I've never seen that before. That is crazy.
Yeah, well, I'm not usually very good at spotting these Easter eggs,
Yeah,
but
you see it right there, Urs. Yeah,
yeah.
there you go. You got it. I'm watching the stream. Yeah, there you are. There's a picture of somebody. I'm not sure if anybody's ever seen that before.
No, there's no way I'm the first person to have ever spotted that.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. Okay.
I've seen it before. That's fine.
I've never looked inside there.
Well,
there you go, guys. There's a little Easter egg. Now you can go find it for yourselves. Of course, there's a lot of various types of Easter eggs where you got like snowmen around on maps, but that one I've never seen before. Do you know who that is, Urs? Probably. Well, that's a cool one. As far as the match, I just realized I said that's a cool one, and we're on an ice map. Ha! Unintentional
Yeah.
puns. Ho ho ho! All right, so we've got kind of a standoff going on here, as I said, both these teams way on their own ends. Now we do have the time limits to go still going on. I believe we need 30 minutes to get into a possible overtime situation. I assume you're keeping a timer there. Okay. We got about 10 minutes, and if it ends the way it is, it would just be a victory to the Thralls, right?
I believe it would be victory to the Thralls because they have reached the free
Yeah, it's
kill
whoever would be
mark.
ahead after 3
Yeah.
kills. Right.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what had happened after 30 minutes? The game would go into overtime, and after 2 minutes, if no hull had gone down, then the game would be called based on the higher score, which would be the Thralls. So yeah, if these teams just faff around for about 21 minutes, 20 minutes, then yes, the Thralls will win.
Yes. All right, so looks like that might not happen, however, as the Mad Hatters are going to come on fourth here, going exactly towards where the red team is waiting. And I wonder if they think they're just circling each other here, because that actually happens in this map as well quite a lot. Like Glory Hogger going on fourth with the brick, staying up high, trying to spot anything from up here. Maybe seeing if they've been hiding down in the wreckage down behind the arch. That happens quite a lot as well. Oh, and Glory Hogger's actually getting fairly far with the brick here, but will drop down instead of moving forward, so the brick is going to be able to catch up now. Thank you, Coraline, actually see anything out of this? No, don't think so. They're way too far behind that building.
I think he's using the Arcane Bolt as the scout here.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Ooh.
And the Arcane Bolt sitting in the back of its spawn. I think the Glory Hogger and the Arcane Bolt should be able to see each other now.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not they can spot is an entirely different question. Spotting seems to be a little bit, finicky at times, but here you go. Arcane Bolt getting fired upon. Brick coming on in as well, and looks like both the Thralls ships are going to rise on up. And
here comes the thank you, Caroline.
Thank you.
Blindsiding the Glory Hogger.
Yep, and Arcane Bolt's going to go after the brick again. Looks like Caroline will charge the Glory Hogger, so this is a repeat from that first engagement.
Great maneuver here by the Glowwater Thralls.
Oh, but the Arcane Bolt taking so much damage. This time the brick had its correct side turned to that ship and is going to be taking so much fire.
The hull damage. And the Arcane Bolt goes down.
Now let's see, can the Caroline take out the Glory Hogger, make this worth it?
Oh, the Glory Hogger needs to drop. It needs to drop altitude. It needs to drop altitude very quickly. It needs to go forward.
Not quite.
And it does
enough damage coming on in from the Caroline yet. Salty Argonian Brick now trying to fire off as well, but Caroline is dropping down to match the Hogger. Arcane Bolt has spawned behind all this.
Hogger has Caroline's tail. It's over for the
Oh
Caroline.
no, Caroline turned it all sorts of the wrong way, getting caught between these two ships.
Now the Arcane Bolt has not yet revealed itself, and if he was, I advise him not to reveal himself. Oh wait,
they know he's there though.
Down, indicating he has been spotted. I think are the gents going to fold in on the Arcane Bolt before the Thank You Caroline?
Well, they're not going to be able to quite do so, but yeah, they spawn right in the line of fire, so the Hatters have to know he's there, and we'll see if they do decide to charge forth. Of course, they only need one kill, and so if they can charge and focus one on these ships, that will be the end of this match, and they will move on to the next round, to the finals. But we've still got some time before then. Thralls can still definitely win this game. Being down 4-3 is not the end of the world. Killing two ships in these situations, not all that difficult.
It's not unheard of.
One of them down quick.
Looks like Glowwater's biding their time. Oh, look how high up the Arcane Bolt is going.
And he's gonna
up, ready to go.
both of them are gonna charge on fourth here.
Hydro
Both
and
Thralls
Kerosene
teams.
going above the arcs of the Artemi.
And
Coming in
Arcane
with a
Bolt.
double Gatling on the salty Argonian brick.
But Arcane
Caroline will
Bolt
be coming
taking
in
a lot of
soon.
perma-hull, starting to take perma-hull damage there. Caroline
They've got to
coming on
focus
in.
on the Arcane Bolt.
Arcane Bolt
Don't let it get
getting
away.
repairs up. Brick.
They can let salty Argonian brick go down, but they have to kill the Arcane Bolt here.
Oh, Bolt is so incredibly
this is gonna
low.
be close. This is gonna be close.
And the Glory Hogger is shooting at Caroline. No, okay, it was the Caroline shooting at the Glory Hogger.
A few
Arcane
more
Bolt.
shots would do it, but no.
Oh, not quite.
Where's the mortar? Hashtag where's the mortar?
And it's just falling short. Finally, a few of them connect, but just a little bit too late. However, that balloon is out, and the Arcane Bolt is really rapidly approaching.
It's descending.
And it gets taken down by the Mad Hatters. Yep. Sustaining that Thrall charge there, and extremely close up on both sides. Very, very fun set of matches there.
Yes, indeed.
The Caroline I think was just a little bit too low. Couldn't get up fast enough. I think maybe if they were the initial brunt, if they were the leading ship, that may have gone a little bit better. Pyramidions are going to be able to withstand just a little bit more damage. Regardless, Mad Hatters take this away with a 2-0 sweep, and we'll move on to the finals.